Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might be listening to this. You are listening to episode 28 of Sutton Reactions. I'm your host, Sutton Def. We have an absolutely stacked episode today. So hopefully you're in here in the live chat. If you're not and you're part of the replay gang, shout out to you. But make sure you make it out to a live stream. The way that you can do that, because I kind of bounce around times here, sometime in the morning to the afternoon, whenever I do this show, turn on that notification bell, whether you're watching on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel or whether you're watching on the actual Sutton Reactions YouTube channel. Either way, I appreciate you guys. But if you're watching on PRP, scroll down to the description, click on the link, and join us over on the Sutton Reactions channel, because that is the way that you are going to be able to join our live interactive chat. This episode 28 of Sutton Reactions. Let's get into it. All right. We are back with another episode 28, like I said, of Sutton Reactions, guys. This is going to be a very, very good episode. Please stay tuned. We got a lot to get into today on this episode of the show. Shout out to everybody who's in the live chat. I just brought up a bunch of you guys on screen. Let me give you a shout out. King Blaze is in the chat. Stretch52 is in the chat. Ashley is in the chat. Chris M is in the chat as well. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Make sure you chime in as you're coming on in here. Again, if you're part of the hashtag replay gang on this one, shout out to you. Make sure you leave a like on this video and comment down below what you think. Of course, we got a whole lot to get into, guys. It's a stacked episode as usual. We got some fun stuff to talk about. We got some messy stuff to talk about. We got some important stuff to talk about. We got our horror games we're going to play. If all that sounds good, make sure you leave a like and stick around. Kick back, relax, because we got a good one for you guys today. All right. So, and like I said, if you're watching on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel right now, join us on the Sutton Reactions channel. That is the only way you're going to be able to come over to this live interactive chat here. So if you want to do that, make sure you hit the link down below in the description, if you're watching live, that is, and come over to the Sutton Reactions channel and join us and react live with us here in the live chat. All right. So without any further ado, why don't we just hop right into the reactions, right? Yes. So here we are. And we're going to go ahead and get right underway here. I don't think I had anything to address with you guys before we get into the reactions. Normally I'll talk about some football stuff, but not too much has happened on the Ravens front. As you guys know, I am a Baltimore Ravens fan, and I run the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Me and my co-host Alex put out an episode of Quiet Storm Sports last night covering the Ravens' latest coaching hires. There's been one new coaching hire since then. The Ravens have hired a safety coach. We'll be covering that a little bit later on today. But this is Sudden Reactions where we don't really talk too much about football or Ravens football. We're taking a little break from that. That's what we do here on this show. JD, I see you in the chat. What up, JD? Appreciate y'all for coming through. Good afternoon to everybody. All right. So before we get into our liminal horror challenges, our liminal horror exercise, as I like to call them, let's get into a little bit of an icebreaker. Let's do a little bit of an icebreaker before we get into that little warm up, right? I wanted to bring this up. There was a young lady. There was a young lady. What's going on, Herb? There was a young lady who was took to her TikTok and she talked about how she was going to go and get lunch, but there was a young man who DM'd her and say, "Hey, look, I'm trying to get to know you. I want to pay for your lunch. Can I send you some money for lunch?" She says, "Sure." But this is what ended up happening.
Okay, so y'all, story time. So y'all, please tell me if I'm wrong. So today, this dude wrote me on Instagram, and he was like, "Can I send you money? Let me send you money for lunch." So I was like, "Okay." I wrote him back, and I was like, "Send it." So he wrote me and was like, "Okay, what's your cash app?" So I sent him the cash app. Yeah, I just knew I was gonna open my cash app, and I was gonna have at least probably about 100 ball. You get what I'm saying?
First of all, where y'all think she's from? Because I know she's from down south. I'm gonna guess like in the Atlanta, Georgia area, which would explain a little bit of what's going on here. She looks very done up, but I think that this might be one of the high maintenance girlies here, which no problem with that. But I did take a little bit of an issue with her reaction here,
Cause like this, I eat, and that's how much I spend on my food. Yeah, I opened my cash app, and this man sent me $30.
which is
Yeah,
more than enough for
it's
lunch.
$30, and I'm just like, at first I'm like, damn, like, am I ungrateful? Like, am I fucked up? Like, the feeling like, why the fuck would you send me $30? But then I had to ask people, and they was like, nah, cause I'm like, $30 is not even half a tank in my car. Like,
Damn, what
what
you
the fuck you thought
driving,
I was gonna go to
sis?
Chick-fil-A? Like, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what did you think I was gonna eat? It's like when I go and eat, I eat full course meals. Like I order a appetizer, a entree, and a dessert and a drink.
I was
Never
thinking
can't
Texas
even
too,
get
maybe
me
like
two
Houston.
drinks. Like what the fuck? And then this man had the audacity to write me back and say, let me get to know you. That I why the fuck do
Leo, what's going on,
you think
man?
I'm gonna let you get to know me and you just send me $30 for lunch? Is you dumb? I
Mm.
mean, like, y'all be for real. Like, tell me, am I
She
wrong?
said
Like,
the
is my head fucked?
audacity.
Like, is my head fucked up? Like, I don't even spend $30
Void,
on
what
lunch
up?
on my, like, I spend over that on myself. So it's like, for someone to think they're gonna send me, I get that it's the thought that count. Like, you didn't have to send the $30, but it's like, no, like, nigga, I'm not that type of, I'm not one of them.
All right, so y'all heard her there first, man. I mean, she is very, very spirited about this little $30 that homeboy sent her. Now, I got a couple of questions here. Number one, because she said $30 don't even fill up like half her gas tank. First of all, what are you driving, sis? Are you driving like a freaking school bus or whatever? Like, I mean, it's gotta be. You gotta be driving a school bus around. Number two, you're talking about $30 isn't enough to buy you lunch. And I'm thinking, like, okay, because she doesn't specify. Are we talking about like a regular lunch, going out with your girlfriends or something like that? You know what I mean? And like y'all all get together and, maybe y'all are splitting a bill or whatnot. Y'all ordering appetizers and drinks and full course meals and things like that. Or is this just like a work lunch? Because if it's just a regular run of the mill work day lunch, a sub question I have is how long is your lunch for you to be running up a $100 plus tab, you know? And if it is a workday lunch, $30 is more than enough. $30 can cover an entree at whatever place you want to go to, right? Even if you did want to go to like let's say like an Olive Garden or something like that, $30 you can make that shake, right? $15 for a workday or a regular workday lunch, yeah, you could have went to Chick-fil-A. Yeah, you could have went to Chipotle, right? But I guess she's living lavish out here, and her lunches entail going out to Ruth Chris for lunch and ordering crab stuffed shrimp and New York strip steaks. Hell, maybe even a tomahawk for lunch. She said she thought she was gonna get 100 piece, $100 donation just for lunch. It's absolutely insane. I don't again, Here's my thing as well. I get it. She seems like a very well put together woman. Probably got her life together, all this and that, and probably wants a man who can probably match her whatever financial status, or probably has a higher financial status than her, whatever. Maybe she's looking for that sort of signal. But for me, again, I don't understand why. Number one, people feel so comfortable, man or woman, asking for stuff from complete strangers. You know, no, we're not even asking, like accepting gifts from complete strangers, and then you're mad about the monetary value of the gift, right? And this guy was trying to get to know her and things like that. And she's like, why would I let you get to know me when you only sent me $30 for lunch? Absolutely insane. I don't understand it, but I want to know what you guys think. Let me see. Full course meal for lunch? That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. That don't make no sense. Full course meal for lunch is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Void says he's fresh out of class. Shout out to you, Void. You got any more for the day, or are you done for the day? Let me see. Lil said a reasonable rage bait. Why would you send a random girl on Instagram $30? Exactly. Exactly. Like, if I'm, I don't know if any of you guys out there have ever done this, but I never have. This whole like pay for play, payola type dating economy that we exist in now. And it's not everywhere, right? Not all women are like this. As a matter of fact, most women are not like this. As a matter of fact, I think most women, if you sent them $30 for lunch, they'd be super appreciative of it. But there are some women out there who put themselves on the highest of the high pedestals, which is, not anything wrong with that. You're allowed to be self-confident, you're allowed to be, have standards and boundaries and things like that, but like obviously, and I think we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago with the woman who said her time isn't free and stuff like that. This is one of those type of conversations here, I know. But obviously, she didn't like old dude. Obviously, this was a guy who probably had been in her DMs for a little while, or maybe he was a new character unlocked in her DMs. But if she had any sort of interest in him or any sort of like attraction to him at all whatsoever, there is zero chance in hell that she would turn her nose up at any sort of donation that he's given her. So, man, to all the guys out there, you gotta respect yourself. You gotta respect yourself, and don't put anybody on a pedestal that high. I want to get to know you, so I'm gonna pay to get to know you. These women are not subscription services. Okay, this is not. It's not the way to go, and you're not gonna get what you think you're gonna get. You're not gonna get what you think you're gonna get out of it by sending a random woman on Instagram lunch money. Right? This is not your daughter. This is not your child. Okay, real genuine connection or nothing. That's for me. Asmodeus, I see you in the chat. What up, man? Asmodeus says this is why simps are the problem. They overdo it to compensate, and it gasses up a superficial woman, and she gets nasty about it. Yeah, because honestly, what this tells me is that in the past there have been dudes who have sent her money for lunch, and probably it was more than $30. Maybe the last time it was $50. Maybe the time before that it was $100. But women are accepting. Some women are accepting this kind of pay for play sort of like strategy from men to get their attention. And to all the women out there, I think that's dangerous for you too. Super dangerous. Because if $100, if a dude knows $100 can get you to, give him play, that he might not leave you alone. For one, he might end up stalking you, whatever. All I'm saying is this: don't accept gifts from strangers. And if you are going to accept gifts from strangers on the internet who think you're attractive and want to pay for play, just be grateful. Just say thank you and keep it pushing. Right. And then after that, you can respectfully decline his offer to court you, whatever. But this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous to me. Let me see. Void says, where I go to school, I can get a rotisserie chicken from the gas station up the road for $12.99. Why is she whining about $30? Yeah, unless she's working in prime New York City, like Manhattan, in a big corporate office, right, where she's making $200,000, $300,000 a year or something like that. and she has no partner in her life, and she's willing to accept play, attention from guys in her DMs, like, yeah, maybe $30 isn't much to her when she probably makes over $30 an hour. But again, it's the gesture and it is a gift. We just got to start being more graceful. That's me. That's me. Kogan says also, if she actually liked him, then she would want to spend lunch with him and not have him subsidize hers. Bingo. Wake it up, Kogan. Wake it up. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If a woman is willing to accept your donation, she don't like you. She never will like you. And at that point, she's only going to look at you like a piggy bank. The lunch man. I can go to this dude when I'm hungry and I don't feel like spending my own money. Even though it's kind of clear. I mean, like I said, she seems like a well put together woman. She seems like she's got it together. She seems like she got her own money. Even though nowadays you really don't know by the looks. But I would assume if she's turning her nose up at $30, she must have a little something on her, right? She must be worth a little something. But yeah, is she looking for a husband or a dad? That's what it is right there. As Modi says, rotisserie chicken in Costco is still $5. Damn, I gotta hit up Costco. Are those hot dogs still $1 at Costco? And the pizza slices too? I think the pizza slices might have went up. I think the pizza slices might have went up, but I think the hot dogs are still $1. Somebody let me know. Haven't been to Costco in a minute. Haven't been to Costco in a minute. Um, just to wrap this up, as Modi says, treat her like a queen. When she knows she doesn't deserve it, she'll treat you like a servant because you do. Yeah, like you're not earning her attention by sending money for lunch. And again, she's a stranger to you. You're not earning her attention. You're buying it. Right. And that automatically like sets off an alarm in her head on what type of person you are. And I think it low key gives them the ick, these women. Because if you're willing to just like at the spur of a moment on a random day, send a woman that you don't know money for lunch. If we got into a relationship, how do I know that you wouldn't send money to other random women? It's just not the way to break the ice. It's just not the way to get your foot in the door. Which is why, again, I value genuine connections, relationships, things like that. Meet people in person. I don't care if it's got to be at the grocery store. I don't care if it's got to be at the damn movie theater. I don't care if it's got to be at the park. Hell, I don't care if it's at work. And I know a lot of you guys disagree with that, but as long as it's not over the internet, because over the internet, these women, they got all the power and you have none. You have none of the power as a man. So, dudes, gentlemen, respect yourselves out there. Respect yourselves. Let me see. Stretch 52 says hot dog and a drink is $1.50. Pizza is $2.99 at Costco. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hot dog and a drink for $1.50. That's a steal. That's a steal. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. I gotta make my way to Costco, y'all. I gotta make my way to Costco. Clearly. Clearly. All right. Just wanted to break the ice with that though. Don't want to spend too much time on that. You guys know what time it is though. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for some liminal horror. It's time for the, as Tila calls it, the lemonade horror. Now, before we get into it, your boy didn't do so hot yesterday. Your boy went 1-4 yesterday. And we got the same lineup today. We got 5 different challenges, and then we got the one bonus round as the 6th. And you guys know the bonus round that counts for 2 wins if you win that one, because it's really hard to win. But I would ask y'all to give me a little bit of grace. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm ass at this. I know I'm worse than Daniel Falele playing right guard at this liminal horror game. But give me some grace. I'm trying to get better, right? I'm trying to be more reasonable. I'm trying to, I know it's a game of luck, but give me some grace, y'all. I think I can go over 500 today. I know I've been saying that. But today I'm locked in. Today I'm locked in. Promise you that. I'm locked in. Remember to always drop your records in the chat. I want to know who's doing good, who's doing bad. Again, yesterday I went 1-4, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's go ahead and start off with the first one, though. Liminal Horror Challenge. Here we go.
Pick a door now before either one opens. Your decision is final. The door
All right.
you choose is
Y'all
where
know
you
the
will
drill.
stay for the next 3 days.
3 days. Where are we going, chat? Where we going, chat? Red door, blue door, red door, blue door. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Drop it in the chat. Red door, blue door. Where we going? You got to stay here for 3 days, 72 hours. Okay. Got to start off strong. Got to start off strong. Kenny says, since I've been tracking my record, I'm 15-7. Kenny been cooking. Kenny been cooking. I'm not going to lie to you. He kind of nice with it. Let's see how you do today, though. Let's see how you do today. Let me see. Before I read through y'all options here or y'all picks, what am I going to go with? I'm going to go with the. Give me the blue door to start off. Give me the blue door to start off in this one. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with the blue door to start off in this one. You got to stay for 3 days. Let me see. What are y'all saying? Void says blue. Chris says blue. Stretch says blue. Herb says red. Kenny says red. Asmodia says red. Kogan says blue. Ashley says red. Leo says hit rate 70% when I choose blue first. Okay. And Chris, don't be like that. Don't turn your face up at my picks. I feel like I'm gonna be right on this one. I hope so. At least. I hope so. I'm gonna go blue though. Asmodeus thinks it's already a dub. Let's see. Team Red Door. Let's see where y'all staying for the next 3 days.
Door 1, a live game show set. The stage
A
lights
live
are
game
always
show
on.
set.
Cameras follow you everywhere. There is no audience. Even so, you must act like there is. An entity is present.
Uh-oh.
The entity is the host. It is humanoid and deeply uncanny. Food, water, and sleep are only given when you win. If you lose a round, you receive nothing.
Oh, y'all might be in trouble.
If you lose 5 rounds in a row, you are eliminated. Elimination means death.
Oh,
You
y'all
are
might
never
be in
told the
trouble.
rules. You must always participate. You must smile for the cameras. Do not refuse a challenge. Do not ask questions. Do not break character.
Y'all in trouble. Hold on, let's spin that back one more time. I think they said the entity
Are
was the
always
game
on.
show host,
Cameras
right?
follow you everywhere. There is no.
These things are getting way more creative, man. I don't know how they do these, but these things are getting creative. Let me see.
Even so, you must act like there is. An entity is present.
Yes, sir. Y'all see that, Nick? Bro, he got no face, too. No face.
Entity is the host. It is humanoid and deeply uncanny. Food, water, and sleep are only given when you win.
So you only get food, sleep, and water when you win. But I think he said if you lose 5 rounds in a row, then you get eliminated. And elimination means death. So within the span of 3 days, I think it's pretty likely that on this panel of what, 5 contestants, you're probably going to go 0 for 5 at least one time. And when you do, you're dead.
If you lose a round, you receive nothing. If you lose 5 rounds in a row, you are eliminated. Elimination means death. You are never told the rules. You must always participate. You must smile for the cameras. Do not.
You don't even know the
challenge.
rules.
Do not ask questions. Do not break character.
Blue door.
A
Where we
floating
going?
platform rests above the clouds.
Okay.
The sky is bright and endless. A cool breeze never stops. A pool sits at the center. The water is warm and calm.
Yes, sir. We looking good, baby. Team Blue, where we at?
It is called Elior. Elior is friendly. He is
Elior.
Every 4
Oh, he's
hours,
safe. Okay.
Elior provides food and water. You may rest
Okay.
anywhere. Sleep is easy and uninterrupted. Always
Oh,
say
yeah.
thank you and smile when food
Oh,
arrives.
yeah.
Do not ask to leave. Do not touch the edges. Do not enter the pool after sunset.
I ain't got to go
You are
nowhere.
polite. You are
I get sun. I get a pool. I get these pool chairs. I get an assistant who's going to bring me food. What do you say? Every couple hours or so. As long as I just don't leave. Oh yeah, we taking that. We taking that. Team Blue, we up, baby. Clap it up. Your boy Sutton is 1-0. For all the doubters out there, we want to know, baby. We want to know. Big dubs on the first one. Big dubs. See, look, I'm feeling good about today, y'all. I'm feeling good about today. I'm feeling good about it. Let's move on, though. Drop the 1-0 in the chat if you want to know. Kogan is 1-0. Void is 1-0. Sutton is 1-0. Hey. We doing it today, baby. We doing it today. Who else 1-0? Let me see. Stretch 1-0. Okay. But let's be honest, you could survive the red door. You could survive the red door, but I think the chances are pretty damn slim. You don't even know what these challenges are. You can't ask no questions. You just got to participate for 3 days straight. And if at any point you get 5 wrong in a row or you lose 5 challenges in a row, you're dead. You know what I mean? So blue is easily the winner here. Easily the winner. Lil said it is 1-0. Chris is wanting us in spite of Sutton. Come on now. You can rock with me. I think I'm going to do good today. I'm 1-0. Let's move on, though. Round two. Let's see what we got.
Pick a door.
All right. Y'all know the drill. Let me turn this down a little bit. It was loud in my ear. All right. So red door, blue door. So this one is a little bit of a little bit trickery here. A little bit of trickery here. So the red door says 100% danger. The blue door says safe, but it has an entity next to it. So I'm kind of conflicted on this one. Hold on, let me see where they say how long it is.
The door you choose will determine your fate for the next 72.
All right, 72 hours. So next 3 days, just like the first one. Okay. All right. My reverse psychology strategy never works. It never works. So you know what? I'm gonna stick with the blue door. I'm gonna stick with the blue door on this one. I feel like they're trying to trick us. So I'm gonna stick with the blue door. Let me see what y'all saying before we spin it. Let me see. Void says red door. Chris says red door. Kenny says red can't fail me twice. Stretch says blue. Asmodeus says blue. JD says red. Kogan says red. By the way, what do you say? Those of you guys who are not watching live, put it down below in the comments, your picks, and do not lie. I want to know your records as well. Let me see. Chris says, in my defense, son, you had a good feeling about yesterday too. I'm just a positive person like that. You know what I mean? I'm a positive person like that. I always gotta feel optimistic. Zeke is in the house. What's going on, Zeke? Zeke is gonna pick blue. Let me see. Lil says red door. Okay. All right. Hold on. Did I get Ashley's pick? Ashley said red. Okay, got you. All right. So I'm picking blue door. I'm looking to go 2-0 here. Get off to a hot start because I got to get over 500 today. Shit, I could damn near win. But let's see. Red door, where y'all at?
Door 1, the Islands of Serenity. You have reached the edge of the
Ooh,
world where
wait a
gravity
minute.
is a playground. Here, you can jump from island to island,
Ooh,
feeling the
that sounds
warm
fun.
wind lift you higher. The fruits on these floating trees taste like your happiest childhood.
Where the
dream.
monster at?
There is no noise here, only the soft hum of the universe and the distant singing of whales in the sky.
Damn.
If you belong in this safe zone, follow me to stay above the world. Door.
So basically heaven? Like what? Come on, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that did look fun. Gravity is a playground. I can jump from island to island. There's like big angel-like whales floating through the sky. That did sound like fun. There's no entities. Team Blue is looking like an L, but let's just see.
Door 2, the train of lost souls. You have boarded a journey that has no final station. The
It's giving
doors
the Polar
have vanished,
Express.
and the train only moves faster as the night goes on. Do not sit in an empty seat. The spirits assigned to them
Oh,
are just
come on.
stretching their legs. If the conductor walks by, do not show him your face. He is collecting souls to power the engine. If you
Ooh.
look out the window for too long, the void will start looking back. The passengers are silent, but if you listen closely, they are all whispering the same date, the day you disappear.
Bruh. Well, I mean, I can't lie. They didn't say that they were necessarily hostile, except for the conductor, where if you look up at him, again, for 3 days, you got to be on this train. If you look up at him at any point, he collects your soul and you become one of these motherfuckers. So, yeah, we cooked. Team Blue, we're cooked. I'm not going to lie. You know what? I'm wearing a blue shirt today, so I think I might just go with blue on all my picks, just for the heck of it. But yeah, we're cooked. So your boy is 1-1. Unfortunately. Lil is 2-0. Chris is 2-0. Shout out to y'all. Not easy to do. If you're 2-0, drop it in the chat. Void is 2-0. Void's been having a pretty good week so far. Not gonna lie to you. Void's having a pretty good week. I believe he did pretty well yesterday too. Yeah, dog. That's a L. That's a big L. Shout out to Team Red on that one. All right. So we started off hot, won the first door. Just speaking for myself here. Took a little step back on that one, but that's okay. I'm looking to bounce back. Kogan is also 2-0. Stretch says, Sutton, you pulling the coach with the all blue picks. Just today. Only today. Unless we get one of those where it was yesterday was like they weren't the red and blue doors. Maybe then I'll switch it up. But we'll see. We'll see. So that was round two. That was round two. I'm locked in from here on out, though. I'm locked in from here on out. Like I said, I'm still picking blue, but I got faith in my blue picks. Let's see.
Pick a door. The door you choose will...
All right. So blue or green on this one. You know, I'm still rocking with team blue. Blue or green, y'all. Where are we going? Where are we going, y'all? Blue or green? Drop it in the chat. I'm going blue. I know just in spite of me, a lot of y'all are going to go green, but that's cool. You feel me? That's cool. I get it. Void going green, Stretch going green, Chris going green, Herb going green, Kogan going green. Got some of these undefeated folk going green. I'm going to stick with blue, though. I'm going to rock with blue. And you got to stay here for the next 48 hours. Where can you stay for a weekend? Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't even notice there was a pink door on the side. I wonder if that comes into play. They normally don't do that. I didn't even notice that pink door. Let's just rock with blue or green, though. We're going to rock with blue or green. I don't think they're going to go in the pink door. We're going to see. I'm sticking with blue, though. I'm sticking with blue. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I don't think pink is a door, y'all. Let's just assume pink is not a door. Okay? Let's just assume pink is not a door. So just stick with blue or green. I don't think they're going in the pink door. They normally don't do 3 options. Right? So I'm going to go with blue. No, if you choose pink and there's no pink door, that's a L. That's a L. Straight up. I'm going blue. Let's go.
Will decide your fate for the next 48 hours. The blue and green door.
Oh, shit. They're combined. Oh, shit. They're combined, y'all. Okay. Okay, so I guess the pink door is an option. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the blue and green door, I guess, right? I'm gonna go with the blue and green door. Y'all can go with the pink. I'm gonna go with the blue and green door. All right, let's see what the
Pick
blue and green door got.
The door you choose will decide your fate for the next 48 hours. The blue
I ain't
and
never
green
seen
door.
this. Let's see.
The spaceship.
Spaceship?
Rescue
Okay.
ETA, 48 hours. Additional diagnostics required. Engine damage detected.
Uh-oh.
You're alone on a drifting spaceship. The engine has failed. No signal, no control. The ship is slowly floating deeper into the galaxy. Rescue will arrive in 48 hours, if you can last that long. You have a small bunk to sleep in, but your crew is gone. No bodies, no signs of a struggle. In the break room, there's food. Unlimited salted crackers, 1 bottle of water, and something may have boarded the ship. If you stay inside the escape pod, it might not smell you. But if you stay inside too long, you'll run out of air.
On-board systems. Oxygen levels at 10%.
Survivability, 10%.
Bruh. Survivability 10%. So wait, before we get to the pink door. So Team Blue Green, we're on a damn spaceship. And we got to stay there for 48 hours. There's some sort of engine failure. We can stay in the cabin, right? But air eventually runs out in the cabin. But if you leave the cabin, there's some sort of monster or entity out there waiting. That sounds like an L. They already said a 10% survivability. So, and Dead Space was a good game, Asmodeus, by the way. But let's see what Pink Door has to offer. Or Pink Elevator.
The severed floor. You're on the
Severed
floor.
Okay. Hey, how many of y'all have seen Severance? How many of y'all have seen Severance? That is a damn good show on Apple TV. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Or Inc. For 48 weeks, you must survive. From this moment on, your only memories will exist in here. Anytime your body goes back up the elevator, it will have no recollection of what happens below. You will work. You will like it.
Our month-lore masters will be pleased.
If you don't, you'll be sent to the break room for retraining.
Your cooperation is mandatory for processing.
My cooperation is. Compliance ensures stability. Repeat. Compliance ensures stability.
Compliance ensures stability.
Compliance is the path to productivity.
Compliance is the path to productivity.
Survivability, 20%. The
Okay.
hatch door.
Oh, there was another door? Bro, no way. There was a hatch door up top? See, this is how y'all know. I don't be watching these videos before I put them up here, right? I just kind of blindly go into them so I can play with you guys. Who knew there was a freaking door up top? Is there a door on the bottom? Is that yellow thing on the bottom a door too? I'm confused. But look, here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to stick with the blue and green door versus the pink door. I think the pink door has a better survivability chance than the blue and green door. So if you pick the pink door, then you win this round. If you pick the blue and green door, you lose this round. But I had no idea that that hatch door up top was going to be another option. But just out of curiosity, let's see what it was. Your boy is 1 and 2. I'm gonna rock with that, you know. But let's see what the hatch door is.
The misty room. All the doors are locked, and there's no escape. Gas fills the room. Survivability, 0%.
See, I knew it. They got freaking 50 doors in here. There's a yellow thing on the bottom too.
The yellow floor door. Antarctica. Cold, blistering wind. You don't have the right equipment or clothing for these conditions. You must survive 48 hours in the open. There is no shelter, no food, no one here to help you, and nobody is coming to get you. Not this time. Survivability, 0%. No, hold on. Wait, zoom in. It's him. It's the penguin. The one who left his colony. The one who headed for the mountains. And he was never supposed to be here. This is not...
Y'all don't want to count this round? We can not count this round because I had no idea there was going to be like 80 options. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Honestly, it's fine with me. That's fine with me. I'm cool with that. We can omit this one. This will be the mulligan round. That's crazy though. Like 80 different doors. This is a hell of a way to use AI. I'm not going to lie to you.
Not part of the survivability trials. He's an outlier. Cut the feed.
I'm putting together a team.
Fam. Literally the only good option was the pink door. And that wasn't even a good option. If you guys have ever seen Severance before, Severance is exactly what they describe here. You know, and I think it's more of like a mind fuck than anything. It's like it's not super duper dangerous, so to say. Again, we will not count this round. I didn't realize there was like 70 options on it. Normally they just give you the 2 options. But damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we're gonna rock out with the first 2 ones. I am 1 and 1 on this one. I'm 1 and 1. We're gonna move on now. Hopefully we get a more straightforward one next. Let's see.
Pick a door now before either.
There we go. Good old red door, blue door. Good old classic red door, blue door. All right. Again, last round don't count. Okay? Last round do not count. Didn't realize it was going to be 1,000 doors. But this one counts. All right. So red door, blue door, drop it in the chat now. 50-50. I'm going to go with the blue door. As y'all know, I'm sticking with my blue. I'm sticking with my blue today. Let me see. Void says blue. Herb says blue. Ghost says blue. Smodia says red. Kenny says blue. Chris says red. Herb says Sutton said red. I didn't say red. I said I'm going with blue. Kogan says blue. Stretch says blue. Lil says back on red. Okay. All right. Last minute. Get your answers in. Zeke says blue. Okay, Lil says red. Ashley says, blue. Okay, rocking with me. All right, let's get it. Team Red, where y'all stand?
Before either one opens, your decision is final. The door you choose is where you will stay for the next 5 days.
5 days.
Door 1, the endless IKEA. The store is fully operational.
Now, hold on. If y'all know anything about IKEA, That place is a death trap. You can get turned around in an instant. Being alone in an IKEA, entity or not, especially after hours, sounds terrifying, to be honest with you. But we're gonna see though. We're gonna see.
Operational. The lights stay on. The layout never ends. Food is available in the cafeteria. The same meals repeat each day. Water is available at rest areas. You may shelter in display bedrooms. Beds are clean. Sleep is shallow. An entity is present.
Uh-oh. Yes, sir. Y'all see that? Y'all see that entity right there? Mm-hmm. Y'all already know what's going on.
Called the associate. It appears human. Its purpose is order. If you move furniture, it notices. If you block an aisle, it corrects you. If you remain in one section too long, it relocates you. Do not enter staff-only doors. Do not rearrange displays. If the lights flicker, freeze. Remain cataloged. Door 2.
Yep. Y'all, y'all are cooked. Y'all are cooked, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what blue door has yet, but we gonna see. But red door, yeah, it's up. It's over with.
The after-school building. The school is fully lit. The clocks work. Classrooms are unlocked. Food appears each morning in the cafeteria.
Okay.
Drinking water flows from hallway fountains. You may shelter in classrooms or the nurse's office. Desks are small. Sleep is uncomfortable, but possible.
Okay.
An entity is present. It is called the hall monitor. It
The
enforces
hall
schedule.
monitor?
If you are in the wrong classroom,
Bruh.
it redirects you. If you are in the hallway when the bell rings, it approaches. Do not enter rooms marked in session. Do not ignore the bell. If your name is called over the intercom, report immediately. Follow the schedule. Remain enrolled.
That's not bad.
Your time starts now.
That's not bad, right? That's not bad. This is a tough one, y'all. This is a tough one. Just don't be in the hall. They feel equally bad. I feel that. I feel that. Let's watch it one more time, y'all. Let's watch it one more time.
The store is fully operational. The lights stay on. The layout never ends. Food is available in the cafeteria. The same meals repeat each day. Water is available at rest areas. You may shelter in display bedrooms. Beds are clean. Sleep is shallow. An entity is present. It is called the associate. It appears human. Its purpose is order. If you move furniture, it notices. If you block an aisle, it corrects you. If you remain in one section too long, it relocates you. Do not enter staff-only doors. Do not rearrange displays. If the lights flicker, freeze. Remain cataloged. Door.
That's really not bad, y'all. The red door is really not bad because he never said he was going to kill you or anything like that. As long as you just kind of stay out of its way and don't stand in the middle of walkways or put things out of place, you should be fine. Let me watch the second door
The
again.
after-school building. The school is fully lit. The clocks work. Classrooms are unlocked. Food appears each morning in the cafeteria. Drinking water flows from hallway fountains. You may shelter in classrooms or the nurse's office. Desks are small. Sleep is uncomfortable, but possible. An entity is present. It is called the hall monitor. It enforces the schedule. If you are in the wrong classroom, it redirects you. If you are in the hallway when the bell rings, it approaches. Do not enter rooms marked in session. Do not ignore the bell. If your name is called over the intercom, report immediately. Follow the schedule. Remain enrolled.
Hey, look, as long as you follow the schedule, you know what I'm saying? And you can shelter in the classrooms or the nurse's office. Not too many places to shelter in an IKEA. I mean, you can sleep in one of those display beds, but that associate is going to be walking right by you. You know? So I don't know. These two are kind of like neck and neck to me, but if I had to pick one, and I'm not just saying this because I picked the blue door. I promise y'all I'm not. But I would have to go with the blue door. I'm just saying. I would have to go with the blue door. Blue wins, red wins. See, y'all are torn on this too, man. Well, we can't make this a tie, can we? No, we can't. We're going to go with the blue door on that one. We're going to go with the blue door on that one. Clap it up for blue door. I think where the tiebreaker is that like IKEA is just a horrifying place to begin with. And I know Chris gonna put in the chat, oh Sutton, you scary this, you scary that, but I don't care. I don't give a damn. When the last time you've been in an IKEA? All of y'all. Imagine being there after hours. You know what I'm saying? With a monster present. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the blue door on that one. Especially because you have places to actually shelter, close the door, right? As long as you follow the schedule, you good. We're gonna go with the blue door on that one. Your boy 2-0. Your boy 2-0. Clap it up for your boy. Hey, that one went to overtime, didn't it? That one went to overtime. Sheesh, that was a tough one. These things getting harder and harder. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. I'm 2-1. 2-1. I'd rather be in a school than an IKEA as well. Definitely. All right, let's go to the fifth challenge here. Fifth challenge.
Choose a door. The door you choose will determine your...
All right. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going, y'all? Red door, blue door. You know I'm going blue. Y'all know where I'm going. Caution tape on it. Cool. I'm cool with that. I'm going blue door. I'm rocking with it. Lil says, give me the Monsters Inc. door. That does look like a Monsters Inc. character. What were those things called in the Monsters Inc. movie? I can't remember. Or I think that was just the suit that they put on. But I'm going to go with the blue door. I'm going to go with the blue. Zach says blue. Okay. Antoine says red. What up, Zach? What up, Antoine? Shout out to y'all for coming through. Shout out to everybody who made it over here from the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. If you're watching on PRP and you navigated over to Sutton Reactions to watch and join our interactive live stream, shout out to you for following directions. Please make sure you leave a subscribe to Sutton Reactions YouTube channel. We do this every day. Not every day. Tuesday through Friday is when we have this show. And we always do these games. I'm going to go blue. I'm going to go blue on this one. So let's see. Void says he got red. I think Void's doing well again today. I think Void might be 3-0. Damn. 86 Ghost says blue. Let me see. Who else is rocking with me? Glaucoma says blue. Zeke says blue. Zach says blue. Kogan says blue. Stretch 52 says blue. Kenny says blue. All right, yeah, we rocking with the blue. We rocking with the blue, y'all. Y'all red team, let's see where y'all at.
Your fate for the next 48 hours.
48 hours.
Door 1, the cotton fields. A wide open field filled of soft cotton candy bushes, with trees scattered throughout. The air is warm and lightly scented, and the environment remains calm. Water isn't an issue here either. There's a river that runs between the bushes with clean water to drink. The cotton candy is plentiful and safe for consumption. The trees also bear large fruit that is nutritionally rich and provides additional variety. There is one entity here, a soft, benevolent creature called Lami. It is a non-hostile creature that does not pose a threat unless you attempt to eat it. Congratulations, you are completely safe here to enjoy the next 48.
Damn, yo. I should have known. I told you I was rocking with the blue, so I can't even be mad at it. Right? It looked like I'm about to go 2-2. But we're going to see what blue has to offer.
8 hours. Door 2, the Bloodroot Sentinel. A dark, narrow cave infected with a fast-growing terrestrial invasive plant species known as red creeper. Although not immediately deadly, remaining stationary for too long allows the red creeper to attach to your limbs, permanently immobilizing you while it feeds on your skin. Every so often, the cave splits into various routes, forcing you to choose a path. Make the right choice, and you will be rewarded with various supplies to aid your survival. However, make the incorrect choice, and you will be met with a menacing, hostile entity formed from the same red hue fiber that lines the tunnels.
It's over with. It's over with. Y'all see that motherfucker? That looked like some shit off of Stranger Things. What do they call them? The monsters off of Stranger Things? What they call those things again? I haven't seen Stranger Things in a minute. The monsters from Stranger Things. Somebody throw it in the chat. The monsters. Something demo. Bruh. What in the hell, bruh? Or The Last of Us, Void. Yeah, I mean, monsters from The Last of Us look a little similar to that one. But they be like the final boss ones. Demogorgons, that's what it is. Appreciate that, Asmodeus and Void. Appreciate that, y'all. Yeah, that's an L for your boy. I'm not going to lie to you. Appreciate y'all for clarifying that. But 2-2. Your boy is 2-2. Void 4-0, kicking ass. Void, I'm starting to think you cheating, big dog. Because you're a little bit too good at this. You're a little bit too good at this. You sports bet? Send me a parlay for tonight. Send me a parlay. Damn, yo. Come on, man. I started off pretty good too. So 2-2. 2-2 is not bad though. I'm 500, right? I'm 500. We still have the bonus round. That's the last one. The last one is the bonus round. And y'all know what the bonus round is. A win in the bonus round counts for 2 wins. If you lose, it does not count for 2 losses. Only if you win, it counts for 2 wins. So I have the opportunity here to go 4-2 on the day, which is 2 games over 500, and I would take that any day. So whatever y'all record is in the chat right now, remember the goal is to get over 500. You still have a chance in this bonus round, or at least get to 500. For those of y'all who 2-2, you can get over 500. For those of y'all who are 1-3, you can at least get to 500. So, all right, bonus round. Are y'all ready? And y'all know what the bonus round is. It's a hide and pray. Are y'all ready? Yesterday really hoed me bad, man. I can't even, what was it? Oh, yeah. I was out on the balcony with it yesterday. Thought I was safe. And then one of the other numbers when they get caught, they want to lead the monster to me. Insane. Insane. Sutton, you haven't done well in the bonus rounds. I think I won one of them last week. They're hard. The bonus rounds are tough, man. They're tough. But we're going to see, though. Bonus round. Here we go.
Hide and pray.
All right. All right. We hiding from Scream today. It looks like he's probably going to come from that top end. Pick your numbers. Throw them in the chat. Throw your numbers in the chat. What am I going to go? I'm going to go last time I picked the furthest one away, and he went right over there. So I'm going to pick 3. Let me go with 3 in this one. I feel like 3 is in the cut. You feel me? I'm going to go with 3. That's what I'm going to rock with. Stretch like, they found us, bro. You know how pissed off I would be? Oh, my gosh. I'm going to go with 3, though. Void and Herb rocking out with me, going 3. I like Void rocking with me. I like Void on my side. I like that. Let me see. Asmodeus says 1. Antoine says 4. Herb says 3. Shout out to you, Herb, rocking with me. Chris says, give me 5. Okay. Lil says 4. Kogan says, I feel like 1 can escape through the window. Ain't no escaping. You got to wait until he done making his rounds. 3 had the double sabotage yesterday. I'm going to rock with 3, though. See, Kogan says 1. Ghost says 4. Stretch says 4. All right. Kenny says 2. Kenny, what's your record on the day? I don't think I've seen you post your record. What's your record on the day? Your boy is 2-2. I'm looking to go 4-2 if 3 can survive. So let's see. Glaucoma says, I'm the only one with 7. I like my chances. Nah, I think 7 probably about to get cooked. You already know what happens when you pick the one furthest out. He go right to you. All right, so let's see. Kenny 1 and 2. All right. You got the opportunity to go over 500 still. But let's see. I got number 3. Let's see what y'all got. Oh, he came from the bottom. Come on. 8 cook. No. Come on, bro. And he beat my ass, too. Oh, yeah, you're done. Yep. Over with. 6 might be all right now if you pick 6. Oh, hold on. 4 cook. Oh, 4 escape. Oh, 4 get out. Oh, 4 thought he was about to get loose. Thought you was about to get loose. 7 cook. Oh, wait. Is he leaving? Uh-oh. 1. Where you at, 1? Over with. 5 and 6. 5 and 6, y'all. That's a win for 5 and 6, man. Damn. 3 got beat the fuck up, dog. Like, what is up with that? What is up with me getting hoed on these bonus rounds, dog? I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. One did try to book it, or who was that who tried to book it? I think that was 4 who tried to book it. That's why he almost made it to the door. Almost made it out. Ah, man. Man. Your boy is 2-3 on the day. Your boy is 2-3 on the day. If you went over 500, put it in the chat. If you went over 500, put it in the chat. I think, who won the bonus round? Chris won the bonus round. Shout out to you. Who else won that bonus round? Somebody else picked 5, didn't they? Or 6. Anybody pick 6? Let me see. Nobody picked 6. Damn, nobody picked 6. Wow. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Kogan 3-2. Void 4-1. Herb 3-2. Chris 5-1 on the day. Chris 5-1 on the day. That means Chris is the winner of today's Liminal Horror Challenge. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris for winning this challenge of the day. I mean, big ups to you. Props to you, Chris. You doubted me, and you ended up being right today. Today you win. You got it. Second place was Void going 4-1. Shout out to Void as well. Clap it up. And then it looks like we got Kogan and Herb tied at 3-2. So clap it up for them as well. Third place. It's a W. That's a W for all of y'all. But Chris is the main winner on today's episode of the Liminal Horror Challenge. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. Always a good time. Always a good time. But damn, yo, I really thought that my number was going to make it out. I really did. It was looking good. I mean, we had him in the first half. And nobody even ratted us out. We just got caught up. And he beat the crap out of us, too. To add insult to injury. Hold on, I'm getting an Adam Schefter. Notification. Oh, no, this is Shams Charania, so it's basketball. Okay. The 76ers are trading Jared McCain to the Thunder for a 2026 Rockets first round pick. I don't care about that. Anywho. Yeah, shout out to y'all. Of course, we will be back tomorrow with more Liminal Horror Challenges. Those are fun. But it's time to get into some other topics, right? We're about an hour into the show, and it's time to get into, what else do we got here? We got a couple things. Let's talk about, so when y'all go to the movies, right? When y'all go to the movie theater, are y'all the type of person or the type of people to go out and buy all the snacks beforehand and sneak them in, smuggle them into the movie theater and be busting down on snacks in the movies? Or are you the type of person to actually buy snacks from the concession stand? Don't lie. It's okay either way. I ain't judging either way. I ain't judging if you're paying for that overpriced snack food at the movie theater where they got it all monopolized in there. And I'm also not judging if you go into the dollar store to get your candies or whatever. If you going somewhere to get a little bit of food or whatever and you smuggling it, I'm not discriminating. Me personally, me and my girl, we go to the movie theater. Hell, sometimes we bring in damn shit. We get Chipotle, smuggle it in, little burrito action. You feel me? I might smuggle in some liquor. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be smuggling it in, low key. Now, sometimes when we go to the luxury movie theaters, we'll actually go in and we'll dine and we'll order right to our seat and stuff like that. But at the little AMCs and the Cinemarks and stuff like that, where they don't do none of that crap, nah, we smuggling it in. But listen to what this lady is bringing to her movie theater trips.
Here's what I sneak into the movies as a fat girl who's trying to be a little less of a big back and maybe also not pay $16 for popcorn.
Are those pistachios? in the hell do you need all of this food for? That's a whole bag of carrots. What are you going to see? Godfather 1, 2, and 3 all at the same time, back to back to back? Bruh. Turkey pepperoni, baby carrots, protein. Oh, the protein soda, huh? Little Cheech and Chong infused drink. I never heard of that. Hold on now. She might be cooking with grease. Hold on. The fact that all of that fit in that bag, and by the way, the bag like perfectly matches her hoodie there. That's kind of cool. But she doing a lot. Again, she got to be going to see all 3 Godfathers back to back to back. It's got to be a marathon of movies. Because what do you need all of those snacks for? Unless you're going with the entire family, right? Husband, 2, 3 kids, then maybe. But you still got to be seeing all Godfathers. You feel me? But that's too much though. Kogan says, no way they're not checking that bag. Hey, don't let me be a movie theater attendant or whatever, because I'm going to be on y'all ass. I mean, hey, yo, excuse me. Bring that one over here. Yeah, I need to see what's up in there. I need to see what's up in there. And I might let you slide if you break down with me. I might let you slide if you break down. I would be that type of movie theater attendant. Hey, yo, hold on real quick. Let me check your bag. That's me. That's me. As Modi says, I'm expecting her to bring in a toaster oven now. I'm gonna bring a little George Foreman grill, a little portable grill in there. You feel me? Herb says, you snitching? Only if she ain't breaking down. I like baby carrots too. Look, I'm a vegetable person. She got to break down on that Cheech and Chong infused drink. Whatever can get me through my shift. And if you're not rocking with it, hey, look, sis, you're going to have to leave that bag up in the car. Get it when you come out, right? That's me. I'm really just joking, but, you know. Let me see. Void says, the crunching from the food will make freakish amounts of noise in there, too. I'm snitching if I catch this. That is a lot, though. That's a hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. Sutton, why do you say that about the protein soda? Because it's like, first of all, I've never even really heard of protein soda before, to be honest with you. But like, it seems like I don't know. She did say respectfully that she was a quote unquote big back and she's trying to change her ways. However, I feel like consuming that amount of snacks and then throwing a protein soda on top of it, you're not really going to be making a whole lot of progress, right? I want to know what movie she's gonna see, like dead ass. I want to know what movie she's gonna see. This movie got to be at least 4 hours long. There's got to be an intermission in this movie at some point. If you bring in all them snacks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A bag of that size is gonna get checked, but then again, it might not. Because some people some people pack like their blankets and stuff like that. So if she was smart about it, she would wrap all those snacks in a big like blanket and stuff it in the bag. And when they say, "Hey, can we check?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I just bought I bought my I bought my blanket. It's in the bag here. You open it up, you let them see real quick, let them take a peek, close it right back up, zip it up, and you good." There's methods, there's tactics, right? There's tactics to sneaking stuff in. Definitely tactics. Maybe it's a stage play. Gotta be something, man. Gotta be something. But this is what I'm saying is, Modi, you can't bring that much food and say you're trying to lose weight. Like, come on. You don't need to have something in and around your mouth, pause, at all times during the movie. Y'all saw that big ass bag of popcorn. Let me go back. Y'all saw that fat ass bag of popcorn she had. I mean, look at this. That's probably about a large popcorn, I would say. He's trying to be a little less of a big back. Okay, I mean, shout out to her. But that's a lot of damn food for what I would assume is going to be an hour and a half, 2 hour movie at max. To get through all that food, you constantly have to be stuffing your face. Constantly. But neither here nor there. Again, I'm me personally. I'm the type to smuggle some stuff in myself, but not this much. Maybe like a little um might go to my favorite taco spot, get a taco or two, it's wrapped up in aluminum foil. You can stuff that easily in a bag, stuff it in my hoodie pocket, right? Popcorn, I'm never smuggling popcorn into a movie theater. That's got to be one of the most you forcing it. You forcing it. It's tradition. Get some popcorn. Get some popcorn. Yeah, you're gonna pay like $12 for a large popcorn, but that's part of the experience to me. But that's why a lot of times I won't even buy popcorn. I'll just smuggle in a little meal of my own. You feel me? But movie popcorn is fire though. I love movie popcorn. It just feels right eating popcorn at the movies. All right, let's move on here. Let's move on. What else we got? What else we got? Let's bring up a football topic here. Football topic. So yesterday I talked about, black coaches and the lack thereof in the National Football League right now. And I actually found out a very interesting stat yesterday. And this video is not about black coaches per se, but I found an interesting stat yesterday from the black coaches segment that I did not mention on yesterday's show. The Rooney Rule, and as you guys know, the Rooney Rule is the rule in place that says that you have to you have to interview at least one black coach when you are interviewing for the head coaching spot on your team. That rule was introduced in 2002 because there were only 3 black head coaches in the National Football League. Fast forward to 2026, and guess how many black coaches are in the National Football League? Head coaches. Only 3. Only 3. Todd Bowles, D'Amico Ryans, and Aaron Glenn. Those are the only 3. I know I mentioned Robert Saleh yesterday, but and he is a minority for sure, but he's of Lebanese descent, I believe. So right now, only 3 black coaches. Back in 2002, when they introduced the Rooney Rule to solve that problem, there were only 3 black coaches. Crazy stuff, right? But that's not necessarily about this. Now, this is about a black general manager who was recently let go, I believe, from the Minnesota Vikings. And here is his story.
I left my wife in the hospital one day after my son was born because I had to go have surgery on my.
And yeah, the reason why he got fired is because he had to take paternity leave. He had just had a child. So he was out for maybe like a week or 2 or something like that. And I guess they said that was unacceptable and they fired the GM for that. And this guy is trying to argue for teams firing GMs for taking leave and stuff like that. He's giving his own anecdotal evidence and stuff like that. So let's listen. ISO, what up?
I left my wife in the hospital one day after my son was born because I had to go have surgery on my ankle so that I could try and make it back as quickly as I can to be a football player. Legitimately left her in the hospital with her mom one day, 12 hours after my son was born. I was like, I got to go, bye. And hearing stories of teammates that watched their son be born over FaceTime at a game in Detroit on Thanksgiving because it was important that we be there because we had to win. Hearing people time and time again that made the sacrifice for their team because that is what is meant to be called to you when you're in the NFL. I don't know how else to explain it, that if you're taking a paternity leave in the middle of training camp, when you hold the fate of those 90 players in the palm of your hands to make the decision and you're not there, that's a problem. And I'm not saying it from a chance of like, listen, I think it'd be different if your son was sick and your wife had issues or there was some medical emergency there as to why you needed to be there with your son, because that's a different story and I have a totally different viewpoint on that. But just to be like, I want to be a dad and be here with my son for the first time, don't be a GM, man. There's only 32 of these jobs. If you're not willing to make the sacrifice, I don't know what to tell.
Bro, I could not disagree more with whoever this is. I don't know who the hell this is. Maybe he's an O lineman, I guess. But just like Asmodeus said, he sounds like an absolute deadbeat, like an idiot, to be honest with you. Again, I couldn't disagree more. He's trying to argue that when you have a job in the National Football League, You have to put your entire life to the side and sacrifice some of the most precious moments of your life, like your child being born, right? You have to sacrifice those moments just to participate in the National Football League. And look, I get it. With great financial compensation comes great responsibility and expectation. Sure. And maybe like if you're a player, right? And let's say the Super Bowl is coming up. Let's say Sam Darnold was getting ready to have a baby, right? And the baby was going to be due a Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. Then I understand Sam Darnold making the sacrifice and not being there to watch his kid being born so he can play in the big game. I get that. I get that. Hell, I even think that his son or his daughter, whoever it is, years later would be like, yeah, dad, I mean, I would expect you to be there and play in the biggest game in the world, on the biggest stage in the world. However, we're not having an argument about players playing in a Super Bowl. We're talking about a general manager, a desk job, right? And there's no, slight to GMs out there, but we're talking about a desk job at the end of the day in training camp when the roster is already set and you're getting ready to go in for the season. And he takes 2 weeks off for paternity leave for his kid. If you as an organization do not have, contingency plans in place for not having your GM around for 2 weeks before training camp, then I mean, what are you doing as an org? It doesn't make any sense to me, like the expectations that are put on some of these guys at all. You're telling me it's okay to miss the birth of your child as a general manager. You're not the one out on the field. You're not the one calling the plays. You're not the coach. But this dude is trying to make an argument for, no, when you're in the NFL, I mean, there's only 32 of these jobs. So you better make sure that you're there on call 25/8. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I couldn't disagree more. Um, let me see what y'all are saying here in the chat. He does sound like a deadbeat. Voice says, does bro like his wife? The NFL is next man up regardless. Exactly. It sounds like he hates his family. It just sounds like he does not want to be anywhere near or around his family under the guise of, hey, man, I got a job to do. Football, right? It's like, bro, you're making millions of dollars to play a child's game, right? You're not solving world hunger by showing up on Sundays. You're not curing cancer as a GM by being there in the weeks leading up to the season in training camp. You're not. So it's really just an excuse here that this guy is giving to be away from his wife and kids. That's all it is to me. Let me see. Stretch says he wouldn't be saying that if he was a white guy and being fired for that. Points might be being made. Chris takes it a step further here. Says, this is going to sound racist, and maybe I don't mean for it to sound like that, but in real life, most white men choose work over family. It's why they don't want their wives to work. Now, of course, this doesn't go for everybody, but I see what you're saying here. The nature of the workaholic, right? A lot of people who are workaholics are only workaholics not because they love their job, but because they want as much time as possible away from their family. And that's sad. That's really sad. And it may not even be race specific, but I have seen that definitely in white men. I have seen that. Kenny says, if you want to be with your family, you should, especially if you have a family. Yeah, I agree. Ashley says, Mike McDonald said he only spends about 30 minutes to an hour with his son one day each week because of season demands, because of work demands during the season. Now, that's tough. And I believe I do remember that quote from Mike McDonald. Only 30 minutes to an hour per week because of demands of the team. Now, listen, as a head coach, during the season, I get it, but the fact that he allots a certain amount of time, even if it's just an hour per week, with his son, That's important. And then in the offseason, I'm sure his son gets all of his attention. Like, you better be in the offseason. And that's the thing with some of these guys here. The funny thing is, the hilarious thing is that some of these guys, they make excuses for when the season is in play. But when the offseason rolls around, I'm sure there's a whole nother excuse, right? There's probably a whole nother excuse. Excessive training that you got to do all off season long, even a week or two after the Super Bowl. Oh, baby, yeah, I got to be in the gym 24/7. Got to get ready for next season. Bullshit. Bullshit. There's enough hours in the day to be there for your family, is the point that I'm trying to make. Now, again, if you're in the thick of the season where every single game counts, especially if you're a head coach, there's so much responsibility on a head coach. I get it. But the fact that Mike McDonald is at least intentional enough to set aside time to spend time with his kids, that's important. Kogan makes a good point. Isn't that what assistant GMs are for? Bingo. If you feel like you have to fire the general manager because he's not around for 2 weeks, then what the hell is the role of the assistant GM? Or do you even have one? Look, I don't know too much about the Minnesota Vikings and, their past draft classes and their past free agency endeavors, but I don't know if that guy was doing like genuinely a bad job, and maybe this was just, the straw that broke the camel's back. But if he was doing a decent job and you fired him solely because he took 2 weeks off to be with his family when his son was being born, says something about the owner. It says something about the owner. Period. It does. As a matter of fact, let me look up and see who the owner is. I want to know now. I want to know. Who is the owner of the Minnesota Vikings? Let me look that up. Minnesota Vikings owner. Oh, they have multiple owners. The Wilf family. Let's see what these guys look like. Hold on. Let me share my screen, actually. Let me actually share my screen with you guys. See if I can do that over here. Yes, I can. Boom. Let's just see what some of these owners are looking like here. I feel like that's important. Bam. Minnesota Vikings owner right there, ladies and gentlemen. Who does this guy remind me of? He looked like the type of motherfucker who would fire somebody for being with their family. He just looked like the type of dude who would do some shit like that. Wrinkly white guys. This is why, we had this conversation yesterday about the black coaches thing. This is why we need more diversity in ownership, honestly. Because this just sounds like, it sounds heartless and it sounds a little bit discriminatory. Hell, not a little bit. It sounds a lot of bit discriminatory to me. Yes, the Monopoly Man. There it is. Oh, gosh. I'm so glad you guys are in here rocking out with me, man. Leo said it here first. He looks like the Monopoly Man. Insane. Void says, sounds like Minnesota was looking for an excuse, and this one sounded halfway decent to them, but it doesn't. That's my problem. And I know you're not saying that, Void, but it doesn't sound halfway decent at all. As a matter of fact, it sounds very inhumane. To fire your GM for missing 2 weeks during training camp? Since when did the GM, at that point, during training camp, the GM's job is pretty much done. Unless you're trying to ink a last minute contract before the season starts. What else are you doing if you're the GM? Instead of just showing up to practices and talking to the coaches like, hey, how do our guys look this year? Right? Do you think we can do well this year? I think I drafted a pretty damn good team. Got some pretty good guys in free agency. How are we doing this year, coach? Whatever. Who's the coach of the Vikings? Is it O'Connell? I think it's Kevin O'Connell. Oh, this pisses me off so bad. All right. Pissed me off so bad. Let's get out of here.
Wife
Let's
in
move
the
on, guys.
hospital one day after my son was born because I had to go have surgery
It
on
does
my
look like a
ankle so
Jeopardy
that I
host,
could try
too.
and make
You're
it
right,
back as
you're right,
quickly
you're
as I
right.
can to be a football player.
Shut the hell up. Mute up. Fuck is you talking about? All right, here we go. What's next? What's next? Again, Sutton Reactions, episode 28. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Make sure you leave a like on this video. Let's keep it rolling here, though. Let's keep it on sports for a hot second. Then we'll round it out with a more serious topic here. This is kind of serious, but here we go. Youth sports, right? Youth sports. I don't know how many of you guys played youth sports or what lengths you went in youth sports, because you guys know it's crazy nowadays. But I want to get you guys' take on families spending an excess amount of money on their children to play youth sports, travel ball, things like that. Let's take a listen.
We literally drive 3.5 hours for him to play with this organization because of their level of development and the coaches they have.
Between club fees, private lessons, nutrition coaching, and equipment, the Hoffman family spends more than $16,000 a year on their son Brayson's baseball.
$16,000 a year for your kid to play baseball.
We would just make it work. I mean, sometimes there was points where when he was younger and first starting, before I got the job I have now, and we were traveling a little more than we traveled now, we didn't have cable because we put, that $100 a month towards ball for him.
The costs got so high, the family invested in this RV to travel to Brayson's summer tournaments to avoid spending.
So, really quick, she says that at one point, before she got this new job, and I'm assuming this new job she got is paying her bank. Gotta be. But she said before that, they sacrificed having cable television to put that extra $100 a month towards him playing travel ball. But when she got this new job, she went out and she got this RV. As a lot of you guys know, RVs are not cheap. They're not cheap at all. Not to lease one, not to buy one outright, not to rent one. They're not cheap. So obviously they have the means to do this for their kid. And that's where I want a lot of people to recognize that, like, families who actually have the discretionary income to make this work, I think it works for them because they can see it as more of an investment. Yeah, we're spending a lot of money up front right now. We have it. We're not going to go under. We're not going to be homeless because our kid wants to play baseball. But this is an investment to them.
Spending on hotels.
Until 5, 6, 7 years ago, all sports teams were owned by families mostly, or occasionally companies. There was no private equity in sports. There weren't a lot of investment opportunities. That's clearly changed. So what happens when that starts to get saturated at the pro level? It moves to the college level, and NIL and conference readjustment and television rights now see a lot of money pouring into the college level. Well, now that, that pitcher is overflowing and going to the high school level.
All right. So you get the gist there. It's getting more and more and more and more expensive for your children to participate in youth sports. Now, if you just want if they're just going to play, middle school basketball, and then they're going to play high school basketball or baseball, whatever the sport may be, of course, there's fees for that as well. But we're talking about these travel teams where, they're every single weekend, you're driving somewhere in the country or somewhere in the region to watch your kid play. That's a whole different ballgame. Let me see. Kogan says, I think if they love it and they are able to get a scholarship out of it, then it is worth it. But the point is, though, how do you know and how do you assess whether or not, well, you can always ask your kid if they love it, but how do you know if they're actually good enough at the sport, right? To know that, hey, look, if I keep pouring $10,000 a year, $15,000 a year, $16,000 a year, eventually they'll be good enough to get a scholarship, because it doesn't guarantee anything. As a matter of fact, the odds are very, very low of getting a scholarship playing sports, like a full ride type of scholarship. Because these guys, they're not looking for like a semester or two worth of compensated, tuition. They're looking for a full ride, 4 years. It's not too common for a lot of kids to get a 4-year scholarship at a good school playing sports. let alone make it to the league. Because that's the only way. Let's be real here. That's the only way you're going to get your return on investment as a parent, on your child playing sports, is if they make it to the big leagues. If this kid in this video were to make it to the Major League Baseball, if you were to make it to Major League Baseball, then yeah, they would get their return on investment tenfold, because baseball players get paid a hell of a lot more than football players. They get paid a hell of a lot more than basketball players, because there's no salary cap in Major League Baseball. That's why you got guys like Shohei Ohtani making like $1 billion. But again, that is the resounding minority of kids who make it there. So for me, I think we have to bring back prevalence in school sports. The problem is high school sports nowadays, if your kid is even remotely decent, like good, you have a scout who's showing up and say, hey, pull that kid out of public school. And now we're going to bring him over here to this private school, this prep school, whatever. He's going to play travel ball over here. And oh yeah, by the way, you got to shell out a cool $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month to make all this work. It's really pricing a lot of children out of the game. And I think, again, that's sad. And it leads to what you see in the NBA, guys with a lack of heart, a lack of passion, a lack of drive. A lot of these guys aren't going through any sort of adversity. It's a very privileged thing now. And it's disgusting to me, because it's taking a lot of the passion out of sports too. Let me see. I don't know why I'm so passionate about this. I don't even have kids yet, but it's just funny to me. Void says, don't burn your kids out. That's for sure. That's for sure. Chris says, my mom did not let us just sit around the house. We were busy year round. So much fun. Kids don't have that anymore. Yeah, I mean, see, the difference was back then, like when I was growing up and stuff like that, like it was middle school ball, high school ball, you know what I mean? Like pound ball, things like that. Like nowadays, if you're not shelling out this type of money, your kid ain't going nowhere or doing anything. Let me see. Voice says talent goes far, but measurables matter too. Played against some sorry D1 commits. Make sure your investment is reasonable. And I guess that's where the balance between how much your kid loves it, right? And how good of an investment is this? You kind of have to meet somewhere in the middle, I would say. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Let's see. Yeah, it's hard to get those NIL deals too. Kenny says you just need to get ahead. You want to get ahead of other kids. That's true. That's true. But again, the problem is there's just no guarantee at all. You can pay this amount of money a month, and then, your kid can be getting ready to graduate high school, and all of a sudden, like somebody said, your kid's burned out now. All of a sudden, he doesn't want to play. Little Johnny doesn't want to play baseball no more. And now you are $50,000 in the hole that you got to recoup. You got to make that back. But your son don't want to play ball no more. He fell out of love with it. And that's another thing. This system of kids, in these youth sports, these travel ball sports, it's a machine that chews up these kids and spits them out and has a lot of them hating the sport that they grew up loving. By the time where it's time for the rubber to meet the road. Okay, do you want to do this? Do you want to go to this school and get the scholarship and try to pursue a baseball career? By that point, I mean, they've already traveled to multiple different cities, right? They're staying in hotels. They're barely home, right? They barely get to talk to friends and form genuine connections just as a kid, right? It forces the kid to grow up way faster. So it's just a tricky situation. I mean, you always have to, I think you got to ask your kid like constantly, hey, do you want to do this? Once a month even. Hey, do you want to keep doing this? How much do you want this? And you can tell by how hard they practice. You can tell how you can tell by how much they talk about the sport. There's a bunch of different ways, but I think the second that your kid says, I'm not really feeling this, I think it's time to pull them out. Because otherwise, you're just going to lose a lot of money. And again, you have to want it so bad to make it to the big leagues. If your kid is even expressing a hint of doubt in whether or not they want to play this sport anymore, pull them out. Because all you're going to do is waste your money. That's my opinion on it. That's my take. That was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. Okay. Let's move on. Last topic of the day, y'all. This one was sent to me by Stretch52 last week. I didn't see it until just now, but I thought it was pretty interesting. And it's actually the title of the video. It's crazy we saved this for last. AI, artificial intelligence. A lot of us use it. Hey, damn near probably all of us use it at this point. It's 2026. You got things like ChatGPT. You got AI pretty much built into everything now. Built into our smartphones. They're building it into our cars. And you're able to ask a machine questions and it spits out exact, concise answers, unlike Google was ever able to do. It's not just a regular search engine. So the issue is, to generate those answers, it has to come from supercomputers. Whenever you type in a chat GPT and you give it a prompt, it sends that prompt from your computer to a supercomputer that exists in a big warehouse full of supercomputers, right? And the problem is everybody's using it, so these computers get very hot. And to cool them down, they need water sources and things like that. So it's using up a lot of water. And this video here kind of talks about that and whether or not it's ethical for us to be building so many data centers because AI is growing and it's not stopping. Let's take a listen.
One of those places are these massive data centers that are going in for artificial intelligence. And those aren't really climate friendly, but they have to go in. So in Texas, we're seeing something happen here back in the United States. We have families fight and a communities fight, really. It looks like for now, they lost this fight. This is a headline out of Texas. This is the Cloudburst Data Center. It's called It's Devastating. Families Fight Against Controversial AI Data Center Ends. And you go into here, into the article, and it talks, a lot of people don't know this, but data centers need massive amounts of water. How much water? It says water used to cool down the equipment within data centers. A large data center can use over 500,000 gallons of water a day, the equivalent of over 4,000 people's daily water use, according to the University of Illinois. And then it goes on. It goes on to quote one of the executive chairperson from this company. Person's name is Thompson. And she says this: a key part of Thompson's presentation was education on the need for more data centers. So here's the sell. Here's the hard sell. She says, when you Google someone, when you take a picture, all that goes in the cloud. And so you need more data center space to hold that, Thompson said. We're fulfilling a need in a community. Okay, well, then it talks to an economist here. He says this: I think there's going to be a net benefits for Texas, for the economy, and really for people to find more jobs in the future. So there's the hard sell, 500,000 gallons a day. So there's your climate, there's your climate conservationism,
right,
for the data centers.
And that's water. I mean, we keep talking about this issue, right? We've talked about the amount of energy that's going to be needed for all the AI data centers. You've got Google, everyone investing in nuclear power plants. I mean, this thing just ravages the environment as we know it from the very same people that are probably sitting in an Amazon forest, talking about what the rest of us need to do to cut back on our footprints.
Right. And so, again, that perfect analogy, this green mask slipping, we can see the hypocrisy behind all of this. And you'd be hard pressed to drive through communities in the United States without once in a while seeing a sign that says water ban, mandatory water ban in progress.
Wow.
So for us, it's water bans, or for us, there's restrictions on some states from collecting rainwater, but not for the data centers. And you mentioned the nuclear power. This is the data center we covered in Maryland. They were running these massive lines through farmland and taking the farmland through eminent domain. This is for these data centers in Virginia. And this is the headline: massive data centers invaded Virginia and Maryland wants to be next. So these data centers are just plopping in states all over the place. And again, we have Gates saying we're going to survive and thrive in the foreseeable future. So this seems like a really corporate power grab at this point. They're letting.
Yeah. So you guys kind of get the point there. It's a very, very interesting issue, a very, very concerning issue at that. Right now, we're not necessarily feeling so many of the effects of it. But the issue is that it's not going to stop. The AI use, it's only going to get worse. And it's only getting worse by the year, right? So they mentioned in this video how, excuse me, these data centers don't just exist for AI, but they exist for cloud storage, right? So when you take a picture on your iPhone or your Android or whatever, that goes into a cloud. It's stored in a supercomputer that exists in one of these data centers, right? Or, for example, when I upload this video to YouTube, it goes to YouTube's cloud, which exists somewhere in the world in a data center, you know. But it accelerates the amount of computer power needed when you start to incorporate artificial intelligence. So, like I said, AI is built into all of our devices now. It's built into this MacBook that I'm streaming off of, this iPad that I'm also looking at as my second monitor. It's built into my cell phone. Like I said, it's built into some of our cars as well. It's built into a lot of our smart speakers, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to use. And eventually, I mean, it's getting built into refrigerators, it's getting built into all sorts of appliances and things like that. Which tells me this: we're not going away from using artificial intelligence. We're only flying closer and closer to the sun by the day. Some of you guys have even seen some of the mock-up, like the AI robots. I think that Meta or Tesla was trying to engineer one, things that like actual robots. Have you guys ever seen iRobot? Like actual robots that are functioning using AI, right? And that can like help you out around the house and things like that. This is where the future is going. And just sticking on the robot point really quick, think about how many prompts these AI robots that are coming. You're not going to be able to stop it. They are coming. Think about how many prompts, millions and millions of prompts running through this robot's brain at once. And all of that data is going to these data centers. So that's why, with all the new devices that are using artificial intelligence, that is why these companies have to build more data centers. And they're trying to, you know, spin it as like, hey, look, these data centers can create more jobs for Americans and things like that. But like the thing is, we're not going to need jobs eventually if climate change becomes more of a problem. We're not going to need jobs, right? If we're using up all the water and we're, devastating communities and things like that. It's counterproductive to the health of the planet. Now, I don't have myself a clear-cut solution on how to kind of fix this problem. The only thing that I could think of, and is very far-fetched, right? I'm sure a scientist would, have all the rebuttals in the world to this, but the world is made up, well, the planet, Earth, is made up of like 70% or something like that of water. The only thing that I can think of is taking water from other places on Earth where it's not necessarily being used as much and then repurposing it for these data centers. I think that's the only way, like from the ocean, that is. That's the only way that you're going to be able to support some of these data centers. And again, that's just in theory, it's just a thought. They're going to have to start thinking about different things like that if they want to keep this going. But I don't see, again, I don't see it stopping, guys. And I think it's only going to get worse because we lean into AI. I do, you do, even subconsciously. You lean into the cloud, if not. All of us do. We're all guilty of it, and we can't stop it. Right? We see what's down the road waiting for us, but we can't stop it because all the devices that we use on a day-to-day basis are driving us toward that fate. Let me see what y'all are saying here. AI uses a ton of water. It does. And they put the data centers in low income areas that people don't want in their community and is polluting and driving up their energy costs as well. I mean, yeah, we're going to pay for that. Us, the consumers, we're going to pay for that. Chris M says my Ray-Ban Metas, see, like even just little devices like that we don't necessarily even need, but they're extremely nice to have. Trust me, I've seen them before, Chris. I mean, I love them. They can record and they can send things to the cloud automatically, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, we don't need that. But we're consumers and we want what we want. And a lot of us subconsciously don't really think about how it can impact the environment. So let me see. We don't need more data centers, bro. Like, come on. But that's the thing. We do. We do. Because that's where technology is going. Technology is going more cloud and more artificial intelligence. Let me see. Also, is the reason why you can't buy RAM chips for your computers anymore. They price gouge them due to these centers buying them up. Exactly. Exactly. They're taking away physical storage and replacing it with all cloud. That's the only option that they're giving you now. Eventually, even our iPhones and our Androids, our smartphones that we buy, they're going to stop coming with onboard storage. I'd say maybe in the next 10 years. And it's going to be all cloud storage. You know, you buy a smartphone, you unbox it, and the first thing it asks you when you turn it on, hey, how much storage, how much cloud storage do you want on this phone to begin with? 1 terabyte, cool. 2, 3 terabytes, awesome. Let me send this, let me set you up with this computer in this data center in this part of the world. It's crazy, but that's where we're going though. Herb says, all I'm saying is we don't need nor want this and have bigger issues, but corporate is just money hungry. Yeah, money. I could sit up here and tell you guys money is the root of all evil, you know, that cliche, but it's true. It's nothing but a fact. As long as companies and corporations can profit off of consumers, they don't give a damn how it impacts the environment. Because guess what they're thinking? Hey, by the time this actually catches up to us, I'm going to be dead and gone. And it's not going to be my problem. I will have made my money and lived my life and moved on with my life by the time this catches up to us. The people in the highest up in these corporations, that's how they think. So yeah, put a data center here, put a data center in their backyard, in this low income community. Raise their taxes, raise their energy bills. Who gives a damn? And that's the thing about big business and billionaires. In order to make that amount of money, you have to step on somebody. Somebody has to pay for it. Somebody has to lose in order for them to win. And that's just the nature of things. Stretch says government will monopolize water. Jeez, man. I already think that it's insane that we as humans have to pay for a natural what's the word? Uh Something as natural as water. The word's escaping me right now. A natural resource like water that just comes to us. God given, right? Government will take over that. Remember that video I showed you guys the other week about the guy who was harnessing rainwater and using it for his own water system and stuff like that, and the government came and shut him down. There's reasons for that. And this is why. This is why. Shoot. A 32 pack of water at the grocery store in 10 years will probably be double, maybe triple in price of what it is now. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. Kogan says they can't use ocean water. They have to use fresh water. And I realize that because ocean water is very salty. However, I would also assume that humans are smart enough to have, um, um, purification machines and things like that. But even those would cost a hell of a lot to build and maintain. So I get your point, Kogan. I get your point. But I'm just trying to come up with an idea of like how this is going to happen. Chris says my glasses are dead most of the day, so I really just use them for my vision. Oh, you have your prescription in them too. That's dope. That's dope. And if they're dead, I mean, they're not touching the cloud, so that's a start. um, Let me see. Kogan says, especially with how the current administration is deregulating as many corporate guardrails as they can. Yeah, I mean, the current administration is literally all about money and power. Nothing else. Nothing else outside of that. Power and money and power. If it doesn't fall in those two buckets, damn it, forget about it. We don't care. We don't care about the future of the earth. We don't care about the well-being of the people. All we care about is making some money and staying in charge of things. That's it. That's it. Stretch makes a good point here. Google searches even default to AI mode. And that's the thing. Even companies like Google, who feel like they're falling behind, They're like, okay, we got to get on the AI bandwagon now too. We can't just let OpenAI and all these other, AI companies take us out. So in order to compete, again, big business, you got to keep up with the Joneses in order to win. And again, in order for them to win, somebody has to lose. And that somebody is the average, not even American, just the average human. Because this is a global thing. It's not a United States problem. It's not an American problem. I know they talked a lot about Texas in this video, but it's not just an American problem, guys. Hell, I think about companies like Amazon. Companies like Amazon, I think Amazon probably has the most data centers in the world. Do you realize that Amazon controls their data centers house, the computers that control damn near everything, right? They control the streaming platforms. Without Amazon, Netflix wouldn't be able to be powered up. HBO, the streaming services, Twitter, your Instagram, a lot of them run on AWS, Amazon Web Systems or services. Amazon is super powerful, dog. And they're even starting to get more and more into the AI thing. You have AI chatbots in the Amazon app, literally. It's getting crazy. Let me see. Somebody brought up Timbaland, who I understand Timbaland, a famous legendary producer, is trying to champion AI music and really trying to lean into that. Says they introduced it through entertainment. Timbaland, now it's everyday use. Herb says, Timbaland to me is just proving to be a face. And to be honest, if you want to be real about it, Drake was low-key the first because in the battle with Kendrick, he used AI voices or Tupac, Snoop, and others. Yeah, and nobody really batted an eye, did they? I remember that when he dropped that whatever freestyle that was called, and it was Tupac's voice at the end of it. Nobody really batted an eye. We were like, okay, that's a little bit weird. Oh, it's AI. Okay, that's weird. But when you really think about it, that took a lot of computer power, a ton of computer power to get that done. And Timbaland is like I said, trying to lean into the whole AI music thing. And again, that's hundreds of thousands, millions of prompts being run every day. So it's only a matter of time until our entertainment, until our e-commerce, everything is going to be AI powered. And it's scary. And it's scary. Sudden asked me what AI music is trained off of. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. You should look up what T.I. had to say about AI in music. Really? What did T.I. have to say about that? I feel like I heard about that. Let me look that up, though. Let me look that up real quick, and I'll share it with you guys. Is it on YouTube or something? Let me see. Because I want to know about this. T.I. AI music. T.I. AI music, huh? He deleted his take. Somebody has the video, send it to me. Because I want to see what he said about this. Let me see if it's on Twitter. I see a bunch of reactionary videos to it, but let me check on Twitter. Let me share my screen with y'all too. Looking at this mofo. Get him off the screen. Bring up the Twitter sphere. Look up some AI music T.I. What did Tip have to say? I'm sure he was caping for it. I know he was caping for it. If this thing will load, geez Louise, man. Maybe it's because I'm live right now. Stretch says he was going to get the vid for me. While he does that, my guy Ryan from the Flock Rundown posted he posted the Ravens' latest coaching staff updates, which I believe the newest addition was, let me see, assistant DB coach Miles Taylor. Which we'll get into that a little bit later. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it. AI Music TI. I mean, but look at all this, though. AI is now composing music. Notagen can create high-quality classical, orchestral, and even pop sheet music instantly, trained on 1.6 million songs. And this is another issue, right? It's just another issue. Because here's another problem. Like, it's going to also eliminate true artistry, which is a big problem. It's a huge problem because you're going to get rid of, any sort of originality when you have an AI system that can just kind of in a formulaic way take all of the best music from over the years and repackage it into new music that it knows the consumer's ear will enjoy. Eventually, that's going to move regular, like genuine, real artists out of the picture, which is another big issue, another huge issue. Let me see. We're probably getting Ronald Curry soon, says Chef Spicy Rice. AI music isn't even really AI, though. It's all elements taken from training data. That's true, but like that's the thing. You still has to run prompts to put all that stuff together. And the fact that it's basically stealing from intellectual property that already exists is also insane to me. Insane. He was for using it as a tool, but not it being the entire process. But it's a slippery slope, Kogan. It's a slippery slope because today it's a tool. Tomorrow it's the standard. Because again, if you don't have to pay an artist, or like an actual human artist or actual human producer, you can just type in a prompt, click a button, and it gives you everything you need. You get to completely cut out the middleman. Stretch says he sent me one. Let me see what he got. Let me see what he got in here. Let's see. Jeez, man, I hate the new Twitter DMs. It's terrible. Horrible. All right. My guy Stretch. Oh, here you go. YouTube. Let's transfer that over. All right, let's see what we got here.
DIY. All right, DIYers. So this is a really, really unfortunate story, and I'm going to try my best to reserve judgment without hearing from the other side on this one. But obviously, we've been making a lot of content since Timbaland and his team made the announcement that they're going to go sign an AI avatar named Tata. Now, he did a 4-hour stream, which he heard opposing points of views, one of those being from Guru, and Guru brought up some great points. He seemed to be pretty responsive to it, but there was something that he said that really, really bothered me, and you guys saw it in the video, because I felt like it was a bit obtuse on purpose. It felt like it was purposely obtuse, and it felt like it was misleading in terms of some of the things that may be going on, in terms of how he's concluding and getting to this AI artist, in terms of his relationship with Suno. We'll talk about all that in just a second, because something really, really head-scratching happened that we got to bring some light to. Now, let me refresh your memory on a few things before we get to that very thing. This is a part of that 4-hour clip. You've probably seen it before, where this is where Guru asked the question to Timbaland, Most of the people who are critical of you and your usage of AI are asking one question, and here's that question.
Right, that's the biggest question that I've seen. Where what the perception was like, yo, Tim is giving a lot of opportunity to young boys. Even my young boys from Delaware, some of them that I mentor, they came on the show, and that was the number one question that I seen. They was like, yo, are you training AI off of our music?
So, if you don't know, Timbaland for some years has done a music critique series. It's not uncommon. I've done one on this channel, of course, for a long time, and some other channels do as well. However, the thing that makes this one unique is that he goes from accepting all these submissions. I don't know if they're paid submissions. He's listening to it. He's giving his honest feedback. A lot of it seems to be, people saying that it's disrespectful or whatever the case may be. Some people are saying it's helpful, whatever. He's been getting these submissions for years now, and then all of a sudden you start hearing about, or he's more transparent about his relationship with Suno, who is a text to audio AI music generating website, who's been under fire for some reasons that we're going to get to as well. Here's his response to whether the music that they have been submitting has been part of the machine training for the AI that he is generating music off of.
Okay. So can you address that one first?
Okay. First of all, I can't train. I don't own the company to do the training data. Now, what I do, I am a partner of Suno. Some people don't like Suno, and so
he said that he is not the one doing any training, which he then in a couple of seconds contradicts, I think, in a weird way. He says that he's not in charge of doing the training, right? It's the company owners who are in charge of that. That's already problematic, but I'll get to that in a second.
Some people do. I use Suno for a tool. So as I was with them building on this tool, there are a lot of, as you build, I uploaded all my beats. How I use it as a producer tool, like a sound.
So he just said that he uses it to upload his own beats. So he does have the ability to train it.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Am I misreading that? He either doesn't have the ability to train it, or he does have the ability to train it with his own beats.
Which means he's probably
so if you can train it by your own beats, the logic is, well, then whatever you have access to, or maybe that's been submitted to you, allegedly, can also go in the same process as what's getting trained off of your beats.
Which he gets a lot of music sent to him.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it gives you personas. And what I did, I started learning more and more how to become a prompt operator.
Mm-hmm.
So I never trained off of, you can't train it. It has to learn you, you know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to prompt to get the best product out of this tool. So It's not about training it. It's about you learning how to work with it.
Okay. And this it that he's talking about in terms of improving your prompts is with the website that he's been partnered with for some time called Suno. I know you're probably getting tired of this article, but let me bring up something else to your attention. We always go to the headline, right? And that Suno is actually, or has been in court since August of last year for, let's just go ahead and break this down. In June, controversial AI music startups Suno and Udio were sued by major label companies for allegedly training their systems using major recordings without permission.
It's the classic example of cutting out the middleman to get to the money
company that
faster.
has rose to its popularity in front of the public's eyes was using music without permission that has already been copyrighted, and they're defending their use of it, although they're getting sued for it. It goes on to say, now in responses filed in U.S. federal courts on Thursday, August 1st, 2024, the two AI companies have pretty much admitted that they use copyrighted recordings from the record companies that sued them. Here's the justification they have, and I'm telling you, you're going to want to wait to the end of this video because what I'm getting ready to show you is a shocker. Suno, for example, explained that its data training includes essentially all music files of reasonable quality that are accessible on the open internet. Suno just said, because remember when he said in that last statement, he said, I don't own the company, but you never absolved the company from that. Because the company itself says that its training data includes essentially all music files of reasonable quality that are accessible on the internet, including your music. including those.
Yeah, guys. I mean, this is what AI is in its like essence. Like all it does is just pull from whatever it's already on the internet, and it basically mashes it together. Like it pulls from like, let's say it pulls from 10 different sources, right? It's gonna take those 10 different sources, mash them together to make one finished product that looks very polished, sounds very, very professional, very, very good, because it's doing is pulling off the IP, the intellectual property of other people, of other artists. So Timbaland did try to like, in a roundabout way say like, well, it's not necessarily me. Like I'm not, I upload my own beats to it and it spits out some cool shit. But then you learn that this Suno program can literally take whatever from wherever, from whoever, which is very, very scary for artists. And I have seen other people talk about this subject before. I frequently listen to the Joe Budden podcast. And a couple of weeks ago, I heard Joe Budden, who was a former rapper, right now, podcaster, admitting that he actually enjoys AI artists. Because at the end of the day, AI artists, and I don't listen to any of their music unless just like subconsciously, if I'm scrolling on TikTok and I hear something, I don't know it's AI, which is a problem in itself. But AI artists, all they do is just make music basically that's like radio ready. That's all you're trying to do. You're trying to make a record that can make as much money as possible. So how do you do that? You make a record that is suitable for the masses. Radio records, right? All the AI music sounds very, very curated. It sounds like, again, it could be on the radio tomorrow and be a smash hit. And people haven't necessarily wrapped their arms around it yet, but we're getting to a point where, like, I think I saw somebody say in the chat, nobody will be able to tell the difference between what's real and what's fake unless you actually knew. So when I hear people like Joe Budden championing AI music and say, this is actually smooth, this is actually good, it's disgusting. And it's highly contradictory as an artist, like he is. And I know a lot of other artists who feel this way too. And dangerous to say things like that, especially when you have a big platform. Because eventually it will come to a point where it literally doesn't make sense for an EP, like an executive producer, to go out and find talented human beings to make music for them that they can sell. When all they have to do is pay for whatever subscription that this program costs, this Suno program costs, and type in, "Hey, I want a melodic R&B record sung by a soft sounding 24-year-old light skinned black woman," right? Make it sensual, make it relatable to women who frequent Instagram and stuff like that, and make it, you know what I mean? Like it's just, it takes away the heart and soul out of music. And it just replaces it with a computer. That's all. That's all it does. That's all it does. It is egregious. Kenny Will says, are people signing off for their work to be used in that matter? I don't think that they have to. As long as when you upload it to the internet, it's fair game. It's fair game. And that's the thing. How could people even know? That's the scary thing. How could you even know that somebody is using your shit? Because when they use your shit and they plug it into the system, the AI system, it's going to come out on the other side not really sounding much like your original content. It's going to sound like something totally new because it took a little piece of what you got going on. It took a little piece of what they got going on over here. It took a little piece of what they got going on up there. Put it all together. It's basically potluck music. That's all it is. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. I'll play a couple more minutes of this video, then we're gonna get out of here, guys. Let me see. Let's go here.
I was one of the platforms that highlighted this because we need answers. Matter of fact, forget me needing answers. There's producers who have put their trust in you, who even said, you know what, I'm a little bit unsure about this AI, but I trust you and where you're taking it. I trust that you're not backdooring us in this situation. Now you got a comment full of people. The gentleman K Fresh says, people keep sending me this. I still don't even know what to think about it. I have some thoughts. I definitely have some thoughts, and I keep coming back to this. Suno, for example, explained that its training data includes essentially all music files of reasonable quality that are accessible on the open internet.
So anything on YouTube, right? Anything that you can
This
click
was the main
download
concern that folks had when they saw this announcement. You're not going to use my music, right? There's no chance that my music went into the learning of that. You know, I was always taught that if you take from one source, that's plagiarism. If you take from multiple sources, that's research. I think that definition gets a little bit murky as we talk about the developments and how they're training these particular things in AI. I look at that and I'm like, I don't know how you could, like, as when I think about the video that Timbaland released to agitate those out there.
Y'all crying about AI taking your spot, but your songs barely mix. Why would we train it on that?
Possibly because it's music that you yourself are not able to make because you're from a different generation with a different swing, a different taste for sound selection, a different type of bop, a different type of bounce. Maybe they have instruments that you don't have. Maybe they have access to, maybe they sound as, who knows?
Y'all crying about AI taking your spot, but your songs barely mix. Why would we train it on that?
Insane.
Well, that's under the assumption that everybody's music is not mixed, huh? We need answers. There's a lot of people out here who believes you when you say, well, I didn't do it. But wasn't I one of the first people out here that said, that doesn't absolve Suno? That doesn't stop Suno from taking from the open internet after they just literally admit it. They just say this in statements that go to websites like Music Business Worldwide because they assume artists don't ever read those. What the fuck? I'm going to just tell you like this. Shout out to Guru because he gave me a lot of information over the last weekend. And I've been absorbing one particular video, and it gives you a great understanding of what's going on. In terms of what they're predicting is going to happen with AI. There is no kill switch for this.
Nope.
There is no kill switch for this. It is too late for a kill switch. Too deep. This thing is developing at a ridiculous rate. It is so intelligent. It hasn't even got to
reached its
full
super
potential. Intelligent stage. Yeah. It is so intelligent, right? That ChatGPT, for example, ChatGPT 4.0 just surpassed what they said is one of the most brilliant human beings, Albert Einstein. It just surpassed his IQ. I think it's an IQ of 155. It just surpassed that. And it's on pace to double that the next time around, and then double that, and then double that, and double that. There is no kill switch. There is no stopping it. It is around us. It is going to happen. It is going to change so much of our lives. 40 or 50% of jobs are definitely going to be at risk, or they're going to go under massive shifts because of it. There's no doubt about that. But there's always a human being that has the opportunity to set some ground rules, some ethical rules that say, you know what, I'm not going to do anything that is not ethical. I'm not going to do anything that I would not do in a human form. These are decisions that you can make every single day with your interactions with it. But when you see stuff like this, I just look back and I say, dog, that's a choice. And for you to not do your due diligence, for you to not ask the questions. Hey, is this taken directly from other? This is sloppy.
Yeah. Only thing is, you're just not going to be able to tell. You're not going to be able to tell. And that's the problem. So we'll leave that there. It's sad, but like you said, there's no kill switch for it. And it really does feel like at this point, we are in too deep with the whole AI thing. And all you can really do is choose not to give it your dollars. Just like with anything else, any other big business, corporation, anything that you don't want, dominating or monopolizing an industry, you got to hit them in the pockets. So what that looks like is when these companies start to push out some of these, AI albums and some of these really hot songs that are curated by AI, just don't stream it, don't buy it, don't support it at all, you know? And eventually, I think that the real will win. The real will win. So all of y'all out there who, are producers, artists, whatever, you know what I mean? I'll say hang in there. And this is talking to somebody who was formerly an artist myself. I used to rap and sing, make music and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I would love to show you guys some of my old work. But for all of you guys who are out there making music, and for those of you guys who consume music, you have to make a conscious effort. You got to make a conscious effort to not buy into it, to not spend your hard-earned money on it. Stretch says you cannot replicate the human soul. This is true. This is true. But you can definitely repackage it and make it look like, and make it sound like, and make it feel like that. And I think the best thing is that there are regulations, and if there aren't, there should be clear regulations that differentiate, real music and real like entertainment and stuff like that from AI music. You guys know the whole Sora thing, or like those fake AI videos, but when you post those videos, that Sora watermark is still in the corner at all times. That way you know that it's AI. And some of them can get around that. But the government would have to step in and say, hey, look, like when it comes to protecting intellectual property, we have to make sure that this AI stuff is totally different, and totally like recognizable. Like you should know when you go to click on a new song and it's generated by AI, that is generated by AI, and make a conscious effort to not listen to it. But I'll leave that topic there. That was a great one. We spent a lot of time on that, but it was worth every second. I appreciate you, Stretch, for sending me that video. Appreciate that a lot. Um, Again, if you guys do want to send topics to the show, go and send them to @SuttonDef on Twitter or Instagram. My DMs are open on both, so you can do that. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave this episode of Sutton Reactions, episode 28, right here. It's been a great one. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all please like the video. Also subscribe to the channel as well. And yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow in the next video. Peace.